Robert Eggers' The Witch, subtitled A New England Folktale, follows a Puritan family as they're banished from their colony into the wilderness, contending with fraught family dynamics, questions of faith and piety, and an unforgiving natural landscape. When her youngest sibling is snatched into the woods, accusations of witchcraft are levelled at Thomasin, her family quickly turning against her. In Eggers' own words, the film explores the repression of feminine power in a historical moment that saw witchcraft accusations sweep through New England. The Puritan colonists who settled there found themselves surrounded by fears of God, of pestilence and starvation, wild animals, and understandably hostile Native Americans. While toiling for survival, collective paranoia set in and proved to be an ideal condition for the figure of the witch to become a physical manifestation of repressed anxieties and fears. In this video, we'll discuss the witch in terms of the concept of the monstrous feminine, with regard to the maternal body, the witch in the wilderness, and finally, how Thomasin ultimately finds liberation through this figure.
The monstrous maternal body. As the presence of evil infiltrates the family structure, the maternal body shifts from a symbol of life and nourishment to one of decay and monstrosity. Fear of the archaic mother stems from the patriarchal fear of her generative power and her ability to be life-taking as much as it is life-giving. Catherine's maternal body turns monstrous when she unconsciously breastfeeds a raven, the symbol of death and the supernatural. The transgression occurs specifically at the pecking of her bloodied nipple, which transforms the breast into a grotesque and pain-enduring organ. Her breast milk, symbolically corrupted, provides evil with sustenance. Her monstrous womb becomes the devil's surrogate. Each child grown within her once sacred womb is sacrificed to nourish him. Unwillingly, her desecrated body feeds the evil that in turn feasts upon her family. Her body, now a vessel for supernatural evil and monstrous retribution, ironically dies by the hands of her firstborn, signifying that even evil may prevail over its own creator. The witch speaks to the way society fears the monstrous and corrupt womb, depicting the maternal body as capable of mothering even the devil. Simultaneously a source of both life and death, the maternal body, through this paradox, is depicted as monstrous.
The monstrous feminine and wilderness. Just like the wilderness, the witch's body provides an alternative to patriarchal structures that confine the family. If the wild is a geographical escape from oppressive social structures, then the witch embodies that escape and the anxieties that this brings. The witch embodies the threat of the wild landscape that encircles the family. When she steals the baby, the viewer is overwhelmed with sweeping pans of the woods. The baby is lost to both the witch and the woods, equating the two. In this sense, Eggers constructs the witch and her body as monstrous. This is furthered by her lack of adherence to conventional standards of beauty when she's engaged with the abject, such as bloodily sacrificing the baby. Additionally, identification between sexuality and bestiality may signify masculinist fears of women straying from heterosexual patriarchy. Her monstrosity, such as when she suckles from animals, thus indicates anxieties of women leaving social order. Despite monstrosity, the witch provides a refuge from repression. As a result, despite the fear induced by the woods and the witches, it is in this location that Thomasin is liberated from oppressive social confinements. The female body in horror is, in its majority, displayed and contorted into a sexualized figure. Often these women become placeholders and signifiers of widely held assumptions and historical accounts surrounding women, and in no place is this notion as significant as in the figure of the witch. In The Witch, Thomasin reflects this in her evolution, with her finally embodying the historically steeped figure of the witch. Thomasin is accused from the outset of the film.
Mother and Father will find out. What? That you are a witch.
Reflecting the societal dimensions in which these women with any sense of autonomy were assumed to be witches. This is due to the dangers said autonomy implicated upon the patriarchal structures that upheld the male-benefiting society. The film provides a capsule with which these fears and suspicions can be overtly witnessed, although often done so through shaming of any kind of female autonomy. However, Eggers' The Witch does so from a conscious perspective, emboldening the witch's character. This is made apparent in Thomasin's lack of any self-inflicted sexualization, whereby we witness the external imposition of sexualization of the female body, comparative to that of a traditional horror narrative. Thomasin's younger brother is shown looking down through her sleep shirt while she remains asleep and unaware of her nudity. This scene lingers on uncomfortably, picking up on this moment. Here, the incest taboo and desire is used to ironically portray the accused witch as a victim of sexualization, reflective of female oppression. Finally, her brother falls victim to the powers of desire by a siren-like witch and returns home naked. He soon dies after coughing up a symbolic apple, representative of his acceptance of temptation. Ironically, Thomasin's transformation into a witch is arguably a prize. In the film's final moments, Thomasin is asked,
"Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?"
by the family goat, correctly accused by Thomasin as the devil, to which her family fall victim to. Thomasin responds swiftly, yes. She undresses, the naked body pictured in its most autonomous moment, doused in the blood of her family and seemingly empowered by the narrative.